right now in the building, I have what I like to consider, and if I didn't consider this before, I definitely consider it now, one of the most, it should be one of the most celebrated independent artists in the city. Damn near should be probably close to in the world. My dude T-Rock's in the building.
What's
up, T-Rock?
What's happening? What's up, Vic XL, man?
First of all, I gotta say this. See, I knew the catalog was stupid.
Off top.
I knew the catalog was stupid. But right before I came in tonight, I went to Rock Solid Music Online.
That's right.
And I strolled down to I went to the store. You know, a lot of artists, when you go to their webpage and it say store, it say product, they have a CD.
Yeah.
So I stroll down and I see some CDs.
Yeah.
But then I stroll to the bottom and I see pages. So look, I'm thinking my computer is tripping. So I go back to the top of my computer, because sometimes, you know, I'm like, do I have a glitch? Did I go to Amazon or did I go to CD Baby? Because there's so many damn CDs.
Yeah, that's right, man.
But I see it's not a glitch. And then I go back down and I see there's 7 pages over 64 titles.
That's right. That's right.
64 titles. That's insane. But you know what?
Man.
Before we even get into it, I gotta say welcome back to my dude Dumars. Because me and this dude go back far.
Oh yeah, deep south in the house, man. Clayton County, man.
This dude, to me, he is one of the people that put the South Side on the map, to me.
That's right.
And help create that foundation, that blueprint to the independent grind. So a lot of times, a lot of people do stuff and they might not know who to even give homage to.
That's right.
Most definitely.
But when it came to posters, flyers, guerrilla marketing on the South Side, my man Dumars, Deep South, was killing. So welcome back to the game, sir.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Alright, T-Rock, 64 titles?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, we're running a real label now, you know, and I'm definitely the hardest working artist in the business, if you ask me, you know. And I'll say that not to say it pompously, but I worked under every condition. You know, I worked in the best studios, I worked in the coldest studios, you know, the basements, you know, and this is not just one era in my life. See, a lot of artists can do that up to the point where they come up. You understand what I'm saying? Where they come up, and then when they hit the $1 million studios, they can't go back to the basement and still kill it.
So I gotta ask, because you still look younger than, you look young.
I am young.
How old were you when you started?
Man, I dropped my first tape when I was 16.
16 years old?
16, yeah.
What were you rapping about at 16?
All types of
Chiefing?
Chiefing, you know, skipping school, some foolishness, a lot of political issues, spiritual issues.
All right, for all the people out there who are digital natives, for a lot of cats who just got into hip hop when the computer got popular, we're gonna give you a little T-Rock history. All right, T-Rock, you don't even say formerly of 3 6 Mafia anymore, because you so far past that now. You got more albums than them.
Yeah.
but T-Rock, you kind of started, or your beginning of your notoriety started with 3 6 Mafia.
That's right.
Like, how did that come about?
Man, well, when I was in high school, you know, I was making karaoke tapes, and my cousin, you know, by the name of T-Love, he was good friends with this cat named MC Mac. MC Mac was one of the artists on the label. He was part of this group called Akazi. And he got a hold of my demo tape. He let DJ Paul and them hear it, and they was like, man, who is that? Because really MC Mac was plotting on signing me himself, because he was trying to put a label together. But he let them hear me, and they was like, hey man, tell dude we'll sign him. And he hit me up, you know, I was still in school at the time, 10th grade. He was like, hey man, Paul and Juice said they want to sign you. I was like, seriously? So I mean, when summer hit, when school was out, I was on the first plane smoking to Memphis. I went to Memphis, rapped to him in person. I was in the studio recording that night, and I toured with them, you know, for the Chapter 2 World Domination Tour. We really didn't record that much because they was working on their album. The very next year, I signed my first contract at age 17. I wasn't even old enough to sign. I had to have my mom co-sign it. But yeah, and the rest is history.
What did working with them teach you about the grind that you apply today?
A whole lot. Well, for one, you know, a lot of independent artists, the game has changed, you know, since the mixtapes. It's a new market. But, you know, back then, like you were saying about Deep South, you know what I'm saying, you had to go in and really put the grind down, put your posters down, you know, sell your CD on the street, and, you know, get consignment deals. See, back then, that's what it was about, consignment deals and getting independent distribution deals and really making that top dollar, you know, getting your $8 a CD as opposed to getting, you know, what the major labels would give you.
$1.25.
Yeah, $1.25.
75 cents.
Yeah, they taught me that business, and, you know, they exploited it. They taught me how to exploit it, you know, and I'm very grateful to have been with them, you know, as those, everybody know the relationship didn't end on a good note, you know. I will honestly say, you know, back then, you know, coming out from an artist turning into a CEO, I knew things, I knew what I wanted to do as an artist, but, you know, it's just like trial and error. I've been through a lot of trial and error, and I'm a far more seasoned CEO, and I understand now a lot of the things that they was trying to teach me is real. So, you know, I'm real grateful to have been up under their wing and to be doing my own thing right now.
All right, being a CEO and dealing with younger artists, like, how do you think their perception of the game is? Do you think a lot of artists have a disillusioned perception of the game?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of younger artists, you know, they drop the smoke and mirrors. They don't understand this is still a job. You know, I hear so many cats, you know, they want to quit their job, or they want to drop out of school, or, you know, and the first thing, I want to rap, you know. Why do you want to rap? Because it seems like I can get some quick money. This business is not the business to get in for quick money, you know. And I feel
say that twice.
This business is not the business to get in for quick money. And a lot of artists, especially young artists, they got to understand that they don't want to really put in the real work, because they see the smoke and mirrors. They think it's just a snap of the finger, and really that's just what the machine makes it look like. You know, so a lot of artists really need to realize it's a big illusion out here, you know.
What do you feel like have been in your, I can't even say how many years, in your release of 64 titles, what has been, do you feel like, the biggest pitfall for you?
The biggest pitfall for me personally, what I've had to deal with was building my own sound. You know, when I left the business, see, and that's another thing I have to say about things that 3-6 was trying to teach me. You know, my flow and the way the music I make really has been anti-radio, and I didn't make it like that. I came up on independent artists. You know, my favorite artists were mainly artists who were not on the radio, so I patented my formula after that type of music. But then when you get to a major label, you hear, man, you gotta listen to the radio. You gotta see what type of vibe that people on, you know what I'm saying, because you got to fit in the mix. See, my thing is I always made my own lane, my own type of music. But with that, you know, the pitfall was a lot of times my music didn't fit in the mix. It ain't that my music was bad. You know, really my music has been authentic, but for a lot of times, you know, in the early days, it didn't fit in the mix. And, you know, I had to learn the formula, you know, to also be a great artist. I could be a lyricist, but if it don't make the people move, you know, it's gonna be a problem with it. Because my thing is I could really bust to any beat, you know, and I'd be big on lyrics until I realized, you know, a lot of these cats, you know, they making these people move, you know, and I'm doing all this extraordinary snapping, you know what I'm saying? And I had to learn how to really, I'm not gonna say commercialize the formula, but really make the formula seasoned enough to where it's good enough to put on records, especially to be in stores, and to be, you know, to be able to fit in the mix and to be compared to a major label, you know.
Right.
So now I'm on a level where I can make music be independent, still be an independent artist, but I can make music on a high caliber just with the majors. You know, I can make music just as good as they can now.
What has been your highest high?
My highest high?
Not literally, but
I would say my highest high is to be able to be consistent with the music. You know, this has been my job for years. You know, I make rap checks, you know, to be able to pay the bills off the music, you know, to go from an artist who went through trial and error, like, okay, your music is good, to every album your music gets better, and then it's like, oh man, this stuff is really selling, and then it's like, oh man, now you're turning into a household name, you know. So it's just that's my highest high, to see the fruits of my labor and to actually be able to see profit.
Okay, all right, we're finna get into a couple records. We're gonna get into one, then we're gonna come back and talk. Okay. Which record we about to play first?
We're gonna play Clap For Me.